Hey, and welcome back to Dicing with Death, Qual near the Seducer version.
Yep. So you wake up in your second bush of the day, of the session.
Yeah, and I take it it's light outside.
Yeah.
Is it still
Morning is
overcast,
breaking.
or has the sun come through the clouds?
It's still pretty cloudy
Okay.
and drizzly.
I
You can sort of faintly see the
I
sun
want to
through the
like
clouds. So
move the bushes and like poke my head out and look around to make sure I don't see any angry women storming about.
you see no one about.
Sweet. I hop out of my bush, stretch for a few moments, do some basic calisthenics, and keep heading the direction. I keep the ocean on my right,
hmm
and just kind of like walk through the plains and the hills for
All right.
another 12, 13, 14, 15 miles.
Okay. So yeah. So you were walking towards the sun.
Yeah.
Yep. With the
Okay, so I'm headed. All right, all right,
with the sea roughly to your right
all right. I'm on the
and
southern coast
rolling
of
hills
something.
to your left.
All right.
And you walk merrily through the hills. Um, Nothing particularly interesting happens for 2 hours or so.
Uh huh.
Um, and then a little ways into your third hour of walking, you hear the rushing of water and shortly come across a river, about 20 feet across, flowing into the sea a little ways away from you.
I look up the river. Do I see any bridges?
Um, Not within sight range.
Motherfucker.
Like I said, it's kind of foggy, so your sight range is only thousands of feet.
Oh, okay, cool. I walk upriver. Oh, I mean, I
Okay,
stop. I drink some water. Um,
it's fresh water.
yeah, good. Figured it was. And I'll just start walking upriver
Okay,
um, for a couple hours.
yeah. Um, so maybe an hour and a half later, you spot a wooden bridge up ahead.
Aha!
Aha, a bridge,
I get to
and
the
you
bridge. All right, I
yep,
jog
and
to
you
the
get
bridge.
and there is a small dirt path as
Yes.
well, leading. Get this map in my head. Um, yeah, perpendicular to where you came from.
Okay.
So the river is running roughly north south. The bridge is east west. And the road on your side of the river heads back west. On the other side, it immediately starts curving north along the river.
I will cross to the other side
hmm
and follow the trail.
Okay.
I'm actually a little bit excited now, so I'll go for a bit of a jog. I'll jog for like, 10, 15 minutes before the excitement wears off.
Yeah, and you realize you've got 8 constitution and you slow down.
Fuck this shit. I am not jogging. Why was I so happy? But god damn it, winded. Sit down for a moment and then keep walking.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so within another hour or so, some farms start to come into view.
Excellent.
Um, Ways off the road, you see a few farmhouses.
Mm-hmm.
You make any note?
No. I wave
Stop.
to farmers if I see them.
Yeah,
Looking
you see
friendly.
a
Hello,
few
farmers.
in fields.
And then I'm like, wait, I'm an elf. Maybe I should be more mysterious and dark and less like cheerio. I I draw my cloak a little bit tighter and toss my hood up and walk more
Look
mysteriously.
more mysterious. Okay.
Yeah, got to get that high mysterious roll.
All right. So you pass many fields. At this point, it's pretty much fields butted up against each other.
Okay.
Um, Eventually, a hill that's slightly hillier than all the rest comes into view with some sort of large building atop it. And as you get closer, you see sort of stretching out below at the base of the hill is a small collection of buildings. The river is still at your side and leads straight through the town.
Excellent. I take it there's no wall around this town or anything.
No, God, no.
Okay.
It's a couple dozen buildings with a larger building on a hill above it.
Okay.
However, I mean it's basically farmland,
Right.
at least for several miles around it.
I walk into town and look for an inn or tavern or some sort of traveler's resting place.
Um, yes, indeed. So the very first building you come to appears to be a tavern. It says over the doorway, I mean, lights coming out of it, and it says over the doorway, Ivan's Public House.
Hmm.
Um,
I walk into Ivan's
yeah,
public house.
across the street, there's some sort of general store, and there's a small fountain in the center of town. Surrounded by small buildings. Okay, so you walk into the tavern.
Mhm.
It is about midday. You open the door and you are greeted with silence as everyone in the building turns to stare at you.
I have my hood up, remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a stout, bearded man behind the bar, maybe two people at the bar. On the back corner, there is another man, armored in boiled leather, sitting by himself. And there is a barmaid sort of cleaning a table. And they all stop what they're doing, stop their drinks, stop their work, and turn to stare at you.
I pause for a moment, looking around the room, and then I walk up to the bar and raise a finger.
What can I get for you, traveler? I'm
Um,
Ivan.
I say in Elven, specifically, I need a room to rest for the afternoon and evening.
Pardon? He sort of leans in and
I put on my heaviest Elven accent possible and say in common, um, what would an Elven accent be if we were to translate to English?
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking like I don't know. And maybe like
Because I was going to try and
some
do
romantic language. I mean, like maybe Italian or Spanish would be my best guess.
Italian or Spanish. God.
I don't know, slightly airier and Gaelic. Yeah, that's a good
I don't even know what a Gaelic accent would sound like.
Irish, Swedish.
I can't do any of these accents.
I am an elf. I would like your finest room.
Something less cheery, something a little bit more, mysterious and I don't know. I won't do the accent then because I can't, but I'll say in my heaviest elven accent. Um, I need a room for the afternoon and evening and require food and drink.
Uh sure thing, buddy. That'll be um 7 copper for the room. Make it an even silver for the food.
I pull out a silver coin
Mhm.
in my hand and put it on the table in front of him.
He pockets it and goes into the back room.
Um,
The two guys at the bar are still staring at you.
I immediately walk up to one of them
Mhm.
and say in kind of hushed tones and still my heaviest possible elven accent, who is your local merchant?
Greg across the way runs a general store
I nod
for all your.
and
Yeah.
proceed to follow the innkeeper to my room.
He didn't lead you to. He
Never
went
mind.
back into the kitchen.
I walk away from them, find the most isolated table possible, sit
Mhm.
down with my back to the wall facing the rest of the room, keeping my hood up and low.
Okay.
Gonna create some whispers around me.
All right. So the barmaid eventually brings you your meal.
Give me
city.
a physical description of this woman.
She's quite homely, a little rotund, with unfortunately small breasts and a gap between her teeth,
Okay.
freckles, and sort of strawberry blonde hair.
So
She brings
kind
you
of cute, but
stew and
not super cute. Cute but
not.
overfed.
I mean, maybe cute, but not
Okay.
attractive. I
All
said,
right. Because freckly little said and strawberry blonde hair sounds nice, but then you're like homely, rotund, gap in the teeth.
yeah.
You're giving me conflicting opinions here, man.
Not, yeah. I
Okay.
mean,
I
that was
ignore
my
her.
description, but
I
like
ignore her.
maybe 8 hotness or something.
I ignore her. Eat my food
Okay.
quietly as possible.
She asks what you're drinking.
I say water in Elven.
She sort of cocks her head confusedly.
And then whisper in
I don't
heavy
hate fat
accented.
women. I was saying she's fat, but she still has small breasts.
And then
Breasts are nice too.
I say in heavily accented common, water, please.
Right. She nods and eventually brings you a glass of water.
Okay.
Eventually, the innkeep comes over and brings you a key.
I ask him for which room. Again, heavily accented.
Second door down the hall.
I nod and finish my food and go check out my room.
Okay. It is on the ground floor. It's quite a simple room. Small single bed.
What is this building made out of? Wood, stone, mud?
Wood.
Cool.
Thatch.
I poke around the room, give it a good overlay. I look under the bed, look in whatever closet or drawers there are.
There's a small chest or whatever at the base of the bed. No cabinetry, no furniture.
Is there a lock on the chest?
Nope.
Okay. Well, thankfully, I have my own lock and key that I brought with me. I would like to deposit my I want to deposit all my bulky shit. So I'm gonna
So you're unloading your backpack?
I unload my backpack.
Okay.
I will keep my thieves' picks on me.
So are you just leaving your backpack, or are you taking things out of it and putting them in the room?
I'm going to put my backpack in the chest,
Mm-hmm.
but out of the backpack. Well, I will keep my lockpicks tucked into my vest. I think that's probably where they sit all the time anyway.
Okay.
I'll put my scroll case in there too.
Okay.
And I will leave. I mean, my pearls are in my backpack.
Your scroll case is at your waist usually, or?
Probably. I mean, it just has blank scrolls in it.
So you're fiddling with your stuff, and you notice that in your backpack is a small steel lockbox that you do not recognize.
I shut the door to my room.
Okay.
I pull out the lockbox, put everything else that I wanted in the bag, or in the chest, except for a single pearl, which I tuck into my coin purse.
Okay.
I shut the box and lock it with the lock, and put the key in my pocket or purse or whatever.
Okay. Sorry, you're locking the chest, and
I'm locking the chest with my own key, with my own locking key.
With the new small lockbox in it.
No. I took that out.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's sitting on the bed.
Okay.
And I locked the chest up.
It's maybe a foot long by 6 inches by 2 inches deep.
Yeah, I take my hood off and try and examine it in light. Foot long. Okay.
Yeah. 10 inches, 12 inches.
All right. Pull up my.
It's engraved on the surface with just some twirly bits. Nothing you find significant, but decorations. And there is a lock on the
I detect traps.
built into it. What is your detect traps chance?
35%.
You can discern nothing that worries you about it. It looks like a standard lockbox. Nothing is rigged about the keyhole
I
or
open
anything there.
locks it.
What is your open locks chance?
45.
You roll that, don't you? All right. This is an excellent lock, so minus 20.
All right, so 25 or below. 32. Damn it.
Nope. It eludes your skills for the time being.
How heavy is the lock on this?
It's built into the side of the box.
Interesting. And it's
The
made
whole
out of wood?
no, it's made out of steel.
The box made out of steel?
The whole thing weighs maybe 3 pounds, so you don't imagine it's particularly thick. But
Okay. I will add that to my. Okay, my weight is now 49 pounds. I'm including the weight of the good lock and key as 1 pound. Is that enough? Or
sure, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it is just good. Yeah.
yeah, good lock and key.
Yep.
Okay. I will put my hood, or I'll unlock the box, put the lock box in the foot locker box, relock the box.
In the lockbox.
Yes, relock it. Keep the key on me. Throw my hood back up. Keep the key to the room on me. And proceed to head out and across to the general store.
You got the makings of a keymaster, janitor extraordinaire.
Yeah.
Okay, so you head across the street to the general store.
Yes.
All right. Once again, silence and stares as you walk through the main room of the pub.
Okay.
And you go outside. It looks like the sun's peeked out a bit.
Okay.
Across the street to the general store. You are greeted by a graying old man, slender, with a thick leather apron. As soon as you walk in the door, he says, "Ah, what can I do for you, Wanderer?"
I say in Elven, do you speak Elven, sir?
He replies in Elven, hardly a lick.
Oh.
Um,
I say in Elven still. Oh, go ahead.
the general store has shelves, but it's pretty sparsely stocked. Mostly look like farming supplies and tools and whatnot. What is that key?
This is a key to my bedroom. I kid you not.
Fancy.
Yeah. We have old locks. It's an old house. Like, literally, this house is old enough that it uses these types of keys.
Mm-hmm.
I say in Elven, I have something to trade you if you have the coin for it.
Do you speak the common tongue? He says in common.
I reply in heavily accented common, a little.
Well, trading's about all I can do in Elven. But let's see what I mostly am a seller of goods. Don't typically buy. What is it you have to
I nod
to
my head
offer?
slowly. And I say in common, is there a trader or merchant that is interested in buying fine wares?
I think you came to the wrong place if you are looking to do serious business. What is it you're looking to sell?
I pull out the single pearl and put it on the table in front of him.
He picks it up and sort of eyes it in the light. Ah, very fine. Where did you come across this?
I don't say anything. And instead I reply, would you be interested in buying this?
I I would certainly accept it as currency. Are you wishing me to change it for the coins of the realm?
Yes.
In that case, I don't know that I could offer you more than 40 gold coins for it.
Good enough, I say.
He sort of eyes you a little more suspiciously now and pulls out, does some, he goes behind his counter
Okay.
and fuddles with something underneath the counter.
I put
It
my
sounds like he's
purse
counting
on
out
the
coins.
table and dump out the copper coins on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the purse onto the table, and then fill it with gold coins.
So you leave the copper there?
No, I just make a show of showing him that I have no money whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
That like I'm poor and this is my like I'm desperate for money.
Okay.
So I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate to him.
Okay.
So then
Yeah.
I'll fill it up with the gold coins, and I slide the copper on top.
Okay. Yeah. So he gives you a pouch of 40 gold coins. You transfer it to your own.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then I say, I guess I leave him his own pouch, and then I say in broken common, you have the thanks of the elven people.
Very well.
Can you give me directions to the a larger city?
Yes. What the hell did I say the name of it was? Iron. Was it
Ashenholt?
Iron? No, I thought it was Iron Hole. Iron
Something Holt.
Ash.
Ashenholt, Ironholt.
Ashenholt sounds right. Okay. He says, yes, Ashenholt Keep is another few days up the northern road.
I nod.
There's another village along the way.
And I point towards where the hill would be if there were no walls in this room. Hill? Building?
No, that is not the keep. That is just the manor house.
Who lives?
Sir Martin, our local liege lord.
Damn it, that guy would have had a much better trading price for frickin' pearls. Alright. I nod, or kind of bow deeply, and leave, cloak still pulled up around my head.
Okay.
And I would like to head towards Sir Martin's house.
All right. There's a small path leading from the center of town up the hill
Mhm.
to the manor house.
Yeah, I start marching towards the manor house.
Alrighty. So you walk up the hill. It's a small for a manor house. I mean, it's still a decent sized building, made of wood. It looks slightly higher quality than the rest, but it's still just a wooden building.
Okay.
The building is made of wood. It's got wooden slats instead of thatch. It's got a decentish garden, a rose garden, and a hedge wall around the outside.
Okay.
Yep.
I walk all the way
Yeah.
up to the manor door, if I
Okay.
can.
Yeah. There is a single guard on one side of the door. You notice the foundation of the building is made of stone bricks or stone blocks. But
Okay.
mostly wood.
I walk up
He's
to.
wearing boiled leather, and he's leaning against a spear, and he has a cudgel at his side.
Okay. I say to him, I wish, in again broken common, heavily accented. I wish to speak to Lord Martin.
In your broken common,
In broken common.
is the Lord expecting you?
I don't know.
Who can I say is calling?
I mumble something in Elven, and then say, a traveler, an elf.
Do you have a name, elf?
I I say in Elven, um, my name is none of your business.
He looks concerned for a second, and then right here, and he sort of leans his spear against the side of the building and steps inside, opens the door, and walks inside.
He leaves his weapon outside?
He does. It's like it's a reason. It's like a long spear that would be awkward to carry indoors.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't. You notice it doesn't have a steel point. It's basically just a sharpened, straight stick.
Okay. I wait.
Okay. He returns a few minutes later. The Lord is busy now.
When?
I do not know. Perhaps a few hours.
I wait, I say. And I step off the path and walk into the. You said there were some gardens or some hedges?
Yes, there's a garden.
Are there like benches or
There's a hedge
chairs in the
wall
garden
past it.
anywhere?
Yeah, there's a few stone benches.
I go and sit on one of the stone benches in the garden,
Okay. You sit.
and I wait.
How long do you wait?
Um, I wait a few hours. I wait. Well, if the sun starts to go down, I will leave. But other than that, I will wait. I'll wait till sundown.
Okay. Sundown arrives and the guard does not fetch you. At some point, the guard actually does switch. So someone else, virtually interchangeable with him.
Okay.
Same.
How many hours has that been?
You'd guess probably 2 hours the guard changes.
Okay. As the guards are changing, I would like to get up and walk towards the guard that's leaving.
Okay. He goes inside the manor house. Unless you wish to shout something and run to the door, he gets inside before you
Okay.
reach him.
I go up to the other guard then, and I say, I am waiting still.
Who are you?
I say, I say something in Elven, just like to. I make some Elven words. I jumble them together.
Okay. Is the Lord expecting you?
Yes.
Just a minute. He walks inside, bringing his spear.
Okay.
All right. A few minutes later, he pops back out and says, he'll be ready in about 10 minutes.
I am waiting, I say, and I walk back to the bench.
Okay. About 15 minutes later, the guard fetches you.
Okay, cool. Now we can get some answers. Okay.
Okay.
I go with the guard who fetches me?
Yes. Okay. So he leads you inside the manor house. There is a small like a foyer, I guess. It's all a single story building. There's a long hallway in front of you, a door to the left, and a set of sort of like a split level set of 3 stairs off to the right, which he leads you down into a little I don't know, like a feels like a study or a drawing room, but there's no books. It's a few decorations and crude paintings. And you see a man, reasonably well dressed, seated in a big overstuffed chair.
I glance around the room. Are there any other people in here with me?
There is another guard leaning against the wall to the left of where you walk in. The first guard walks back to the front door.
Does the well-dressed man have a weapon on him?
You do see a longsword at his side, sort of like awkwardly shifted.
Okay. I stand. I stand in the room, hood still pulled, and give myself a nice deep bow towards him.
In Elven, he says, "Greetings, friend." and then he switches to common. How might I be of service to you?
How was his Elven? Does it sound like he could speak Elven well?
Absolutely not. No, it sounded like someone was like, "Here's how you say greetings, friend." And
Okay, all right.
hola, amigo. How can I be of service to you?
All right, all right. Um, I say in broken common, I know this may sound strange, but would you please ask the guard to step outside?
He looks you up and down. Do you have colors? Your cloak is green, right?
My cloak is green and gold. It's pulled around me. I do have 21 darts and 2 daggers
Yeah.
in
How
like
obvious are those
they would be in basically like a bandolier like
of
across
darts?
my chest of darts, and the daggers would be one on either hip.
Are they?
But I have my
Have you
cloak
made
drawn.
any intention to conceal these weapons?
Absolutely, every intention. Like I try and stand like cloak drawn between blah blah blah.
Okay. He stands to his feet and sort of gestures the guard out of the room. You see that he's a large man. He stands maybe as much as a foot taller than you.
Okay.
Reasonably well muscled. He carries himself with, well, like
Okay.
either like a lord or a athletic man.
Okay. At this point, I take back my hood, show him my face, and I say in
Beautiful, beautiful hair.
yeah. And I say in a, oh, I have a fancy hat on this whole time. Shit, I forgot about my fancy hat. I guess my fancy hat I had tucked into my backpack or something. And I say to him in flawless common, my name is Qualnir. I was recently found on the shoreline, my head dashed across some rocks. I have no memory of how I got here. Have you seen me before?
He takes a step closer and studies your countenance. I can't say that I have, but all you elves sort of look alike.
Have there been any elves traveling through this area? I have no idea where I am or how I got here.
No, elves do not make it this far south often.
My lord, I apologize for my interference and my strange mannerisms, but I fear my life may be in danger. If you could do me a favor and pretend that I do not speak so well, I would greatly appreciate it. If my head was dashed upon rocks once, it might be again.
He furrows his brow. He says, I do not understand the need for such deceptions.
If a man is trying to kill me and has failed, he may try again. If someone comes asking for me, I would appreciate discretion. I do not know why I am wanted or what has happened to me.
I do not appreciate you bringing these troubles into my lands.
I have tried to hide who I am as much as possible. I have only shown myself to you. I will be leaving on the morning.
Fair enough. I appreciate your honesty. I'm a busy man. It could be easy to forget a name, forget a face. But if I find out you are up to any misdeeds, I am not quick to forgive.
I raise my hand, which will probably reveal my bandolier of darts, and I say, on my word as an elf, I am up to no trouble.
You see his eyes do catch your bandolier, but he doesn't appear startled.
I bow again, put my hood up, let my cloak fall closed, and start to walk away.
Goodbye, Qualnir. Be sure that you leave on the morrow.
I say nothing. Mysterious elves for the win. I want to head back to my inn room. Fucking fancy hat. I paid like 2 gold for that fancy hat, and now I don't even want it.
You've now got 40 gold or whatever, so
fuck it.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I was so psyched for my fancy hat, and now I realize that my character has no desire for a fancy hat whatsoever.
Yeah, those are the things you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Can't predict.
It's cool. It's cool. I can give up my fancy hat. Um, I head back to my inn room, and I would like to. No, I sit in the common room. I order some wine.
Feeling fancy, huh? Oh, I guess now you got money, huh?
I got money, and I'm an elf. Elves drink wine. White wines. Chardonnay. Actually don't know. Is that a nice wine?
Chardonnay.
I don't know.
Sure. It's a white
Sure.
wine. I don't know.
That's like the only name of white wine that I know.
Uh, yeah, they say they don't know what Chardonnay is, but they eventually settle on a white wine they can give you. I don't know if they
Sweet.
know what kind of grape it is.
Sweet.
Pinch of pumpkins.
Is Chardonnay a type of grape then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You get the stares of the local folk, but
I keep my eyes out for any attractive young ladies.
okay. You're sort of uh, lurking,
Okay.
creeping.
Not creeping.
Mostly,
I'm a handsome, mysterious elf sitting in the like keeping this one corner table to myself for the evening. I order like fruits and cheeses and light elvy thingies, and I order wine, and I just kind of sit back and watch. And I'll stay here throughout the evening when I'm sure that this is like a local gathering point for people. So
yeah. It's still like just before sundown. At this point, it's mostly men.
that's fine.
In fact, it's all men other than the barmaid.
That's fine. I sit and
Fork
wait.
out another 2 silver for your drinks and
Okay.
for the fruit and cheese.
I will have to pay with a gold and then get change, just as a heads up, if that means anything to these people.
He doesn't look too surprised, but he does have to go get change for you out of the back and
Okay.
gives you back 8 silver. I mean, actually, initial it's probably like 1 silver for something, and then
All right.
another silver over the course of the night. What's chat doing?
Neil's character's new mission: spread his seed across the world.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So there's no women approach in the first half hour or so. You gather from the locals that they crudely refer to this gathering place as the Cornhole, not as Ivan's public house, much to his chagrin.
No, that's awful.
Yeah. So they pretty much ignore you unless you are making any.
No, I try to be ignored and
You're just sort of
kinda,
sitting there listening with your elven ears. Yeah.
yeah.
Usual farmer gossip. There's wild dogs on the moors. Mysterious fire out at Jenkins Farm.
Hmm.
Boring farmer.
That's fine. I wait and wait. I will stay in the public room until everyone calls it a night, or until some attractive young ladies swing by.
Yeah, so maybe around 6 or 7 in the evening, just a little after sundown, a pair of women enter. There's a tall.
I immediately look for wedding rings on their fingers.
Before even checking out how attractive they are.
Yeah, when like, oh, female walking ring, 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 ring.
Yeah. So a pair of women, neither of which have an obvious ring, walk in.
Success.
A tall, quite slender, freckled redhead, milky skin, walks in. Average attractiveness. With a shorter blonde friend, about equally as attractive.
Okay.
Wearing country dresses, and they enter and each order wine and sip it like they think they're fancy ladies or something. They initially sit by themselves.
Okay. I will give them like half an hour, and then I wanna do something. So let me know if anything else interesting happens in the next half hour.
I mean, eventually some of the farmers approach them and they flirt and giggle. And, yeah,
So
play
some
kind of
farmers come
close.
over and make a move early on.
Yeah, you'd guess that they are all locals. So
Of
they
course.
probably, yeah. So some of the younger, yeah, farm boys.
Okay. Um, so after like half an hour or so, I would like to try and flag down the barmaid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then let's try this. I say I point to the blonde, the shorter blonde one,
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Would you in again broken common with heavy accent? Please buy her a drink for me, or I would like to buy her a drink."
Uh, sure. Yeah.
Uh,
Anything in particular?
I your nicest
More.
wine.
Okay. All right. So she goes and fetches a refill for the woman who has just about finished her first drink.
Okay, cool.
She
I
sort of
want to watch
whispers in her
very
ear,
carefully what happens here.
as creepy as you're watching right now.
No, no, not
Trying
like
to look like
but
suave.
he's you know, just an attractive, suave gentleman
Okay.
with
Yeah.
a
So
hood up. No one can
the
see.
barmaid sets the wine down and whispers to the blonde and points to you.
As she points
She
to
looks
me,
over to you. A smile sort of flashes across her face, and she looks back to her friends. What were you doing?
I was gonna try and do like a hi and then like a gesture to come over here.
Um, she did catch that gesture, and then so after flashing away, she sort of looks back up to you, the quizzical look.
I keep my hands on the table and don't I don't make another gesture. I keep my hood up and low.
Okay. She taps her friend on the shoulder, and they whisper a little bit, and then in a few minutes, they both walk over to you. A few more people have come into the bar at this point. A few more women as well. Are you looking up for the new woman, or
No, they both walk over here.
they both walk over to you?
Interessante. Muy interessante.
Okay. The redhead says, "Hello."
I say hello in
I-
Elven.
In Elven,
Yeah.
she sort of cocks her head. I'm Helga.
I turn
this is
directly
Hilda.
towards the blonde, kind of ignoring the redhead, and I try and say in like a nice, like not like a crappy like hick accent common, but like, I guess Elven sounds pretty nice or whatever. I say in moderately heavy accent. Demon. How damn it? What would be elf? Okay, to the blonde, I say, "Hello, goddess of the moon," or in Elven to the blonde. Yeah.
Oh, in Elven.
No, not in Elven. Damn it! With an Elven accent in common
Okay.
to the blonde, I say, "Hello, goddess of the moon." There we go.
Okay. She is sort of, I don't know, cut her mouth, and sort of waves. Her redheaded friend lets out a snorting laugh.
I look back at the red-headed woman and I say, "Fire woman, why are you here? This is between me and the moon goddess now."
Excuse me, she says, and sort of pushes her friend back. This is our pub. Who do you think you are? Are you
Forgive.
staring her down?
No, I still sit, and I say in again the broken common, "Forgive me if my ways seem strange. I am not of this land. Where I come from, blonde-haired women or women with gold and silver hair are." I pretend like I'm searching
Well-
for the proper words, and then I mutter something in Elven.
Well, Gilda doesn't speak with anyone that I don't approve of. And right now, I don't like you.
Uh,
Um,
a true fire woman, I say.
a large farm boy, sort of a filthy, dirty tunic, steps over and shadows himself between the girls and you and say, "Is there a problem here, ladies?"
In, again, the broken common, I say, no problem. Had question. Firewoman angry.
yeah. What her name was?
Gilda.
Helga. No, Gilda was the blonde. Helga.
Helga. Okay.
Yeah, Helga here has quite a temper, and she said, "Excuse me." Okay. So what are you trying to do?
I try and turn back to the blonde-haired girl and I say, what was I calling her earlier? Moon goddess?
Goddess.
I say again to the blonde-haired girl, moon goddess. And then I stand up, mutter a few things in
the
Elven.
man sort of looks a little taken aback. You say something in Elven?
I mutter a few things in Elven, just like nonsense to try and pretend like I'm having a hard time expressing myself. And I say, I kind of give it a short bow, and walk outside. And
Wait, so you leave? You leave
damn it! I'm trying to be dark and mysterious and suave, and I'm not. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Yeah, I guess as I bow, I try and reach out and hold her hand between my two, not like a holding hand, but like, like a polite gesture.
Okay. You take hold of her hand.
Hmm. If she
And
lets me, then
let's see. She lets you take her hand. The man,
Then
the man and the redhead are sort of like, "Huh?"
I'll bow and kiss it, and then as I stand up, I'll whisper in broken common,
She sort of gives.
outside in a moment, if you please. And then walk outside.
Okay. Okay.
I walk outside and kind of walk a few, 15, 20 feet away and loiter for a moment.
All right. How long do you wish to wait there? Other than the tavern, the village seems quite quiet.
Okay.
A few flickering candle lights on some of the other buildings, but
Okay. I wait like 15 minutes out there.
okay.
God damn
Shall
it.
we take a quick break?
Yes. Let us.
Another hour. I'll try and move my computer to a better spot.
Okay. Yeah, it was actually quite fine for the majority of this. That just kind of crapped out recently.
Yeah, let me go wired the internet.
All right.
That's the problem.
All right. See you in a few minutes, guys. Bye bye.
Yep.